discuss about local development setup. First thing, you need a Node.js version between 18 to 20. Once Node.js is installed, install AIO CLI library in a global scope. As a next step, you have to open the Adobe Developer Console and log in and create a project. So make sure your org has Adobe Developer Console. So once you logged into Adobe Developer Console, you have to create a project. So you click on create project from template and then select AppBuilder from the template list and create a project. Once the project has been created, you come to your command line and type AIO login. So this will bring up a login interface. Login with the same username and password that you have used to log in Adobe Developer Console. So once the login is successful, in the console you will going to get a token that suggests you are successfully logged in the Adobe Developer Console. After that, you have to execute two commands: Adobe Console Project Select and AIO Console Workspace Select. So these two commands is useful to select the project, and then after selecting the project you have to select a workspace. So by default, AppBuilder app will have two workspaces. One is staging and another is production. So you have to select one of them. After that, in your command line, in your preferred location, you have to create the AppBuilder project. So to bootstrap the project, execute the command AIO app init and the project name. The project name may not be required to be same as the AppBuilder project name in Adobe Developer Console. It can be anything. Once the project structure has been created by AIO app init command, next step is to build, deploy and run the AppBuilder app, which can be done in using two commands, AIO app dev or AIO app run. So during development time, we need to check the output frequently, and developer will change the AppBuilder action code and check the output. So this is a common practice for all the developers. So to make the developer life easy and to save the time, we have the command AIO app dev. So if we run AIO app dev, the AppBuilder app runs from the local instance and the output would be visible immediately. So you do not have to redeploy the apps. So you change in Node.js AppBuilder action and you just execute the action. You can see the updated output visible in the as output to the AppBuilder action. So during development time, AIO app dev is extremely useful. Next, talk about what is starter kit. So to make developer life easy, to create boilerplates, we have two starter pack. One is Commerce Integration Starter Kit, which has boilerplates to synchronize customer group, orders, product, shipment, stock. The object synchronization is bidirectional, so data can be pushed from commerce to the outside system and vice versa. And similarly, we have another starter pack which is called Commerce Checkout Starter Kit, which is useful for developing payment gateway integrations. AppBuilder provides a whole bunch of CLI commands which are useful for the development. Using that, we can check the logs, we can create project structure, we can create project components. So let's discuss those CLI components one by one. So the first set of commands is called Adobe IO CLI commands. These are the basic commands which are useful for creating or kickstarting your development. Next, we have Adobe IO apps commands, which are basically useful for running the application or building the application or developing or deploying the application. So once you have developed the application, these are useful commands which can be utilized to build, deploy and run your app. And AIO app dev that we have already discussed in the previous content, so that is also there. Next, we have AIO runtime commands. So these are also useful or add-on commands, you can say. So suppose we want to check the logs, we want to create an action, we want to check the list of actions. For those kind of functionalities we can use the AIO runtime commands. Let's discuss about Adobe AppBuilder libraries. So AppBuilder provide multiple libraries for simplified API interface, faster app development, and logging, storage, and state management. So let's discuss those libraries one by one. So first we have AIO SDK, which has APIs which allows AppBuilder app to access other Adobe solutions. Then we have AIO Leave Runtime, which are basically internal libraries which are useful for deploying in invoking serverless actions. AIO Leave Core Login library, which is useful for logging. AIO Leave Files, which is useful for read, write, and delete files in the AIO file storage. Next, we have AIO Leave State, which is useful for storing key value pairs. We have AIO Leave Events, which is useful for publishing custom events. And finally, we have React Spectrum, which is useful for creating front-end apps, front-end UI interface. That's all for this video. Hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you have any questions or suggestions for further topics, drop them in the comments below. I would be love to hear from you. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.